Oval Office meeting. Eyewitness News is in Johannesburg?
Eyewitness News is a media house in Johannesburg, provides state news to at least 4 radio stations and an online platform.
Okay, great. So President Trump had his aides queue up a video that he claimed showed that there is persecution against white South Africans. Let's just run a little clip of it.
Turn the lights down.
Who will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek refuge in America.
Burial sites, over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death, 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 horrible death. Death, I don't know.
But you know that
Pick anyone. White South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. And this is all, I mean, I'll give these to you.
No, I'd like
so when you say, what would I like to do? I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couples say that they were attacked violently.
President Trump, when will you go and see for yourself if it is?
Well, I could do that. Look, here's burial sites all over the place. These are all white farmers that are being buried. And he asks about a jet that was given. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You know, you are so bad. You're such a bad reporter.
If they're committing genocide, why invite them?
Kill the Boer, that's a reference to white South Africans, basically, or people of what, Dutch ancestry? How would you describe it?
I think it depends on who you're asking. What does it mean, kill the Boer?
Well, tell me what it means. Kill the Boer, kill the farmer.
I need to put it in historical context,
Yes,
to be fair.
please.
It is a song stemming from the apartheid era. The Boer, the farmer, equated to the system that was in charge, an oppressive regime at that. So that song, that chant was about killing that particular system. It's been a contentious song, and we continue to go back and forth about its relevance in modern day South Africa, because you're now in democratic South Africa. But you also have the constitutional courts and the laws saying that actually it is very much in line with freedom of speech in the political space, that there is relevance for those kind of things about who and what we are. Now it's a question really about whether or not it's distasteful to continue chanting, shoot the kill the Boer, the farmer, as opposed to actually an instruction to actually go out and target farmers.
Well, when there is actual violence against white farmers and black farmers too, of course, is it not questionable to be chanting that?
I did say to you there's a question and a back and forth on the question of whether it's tasteful or not.
But I'm asking you.
Whether it's not relevant or not. That's what South Africans are trying to debate.
What do you think?
I go back and forth about what that is. I'm a journalist. I'm an observer like you.
Right.
So I don't have a skin in the game to say what's wrong or right about this particular chant. I think that the Constitution and the democracy does allow for it. I think South Africa also needs to be understood as an incredibly robust and loud democracy. We are that. We thrive ourselves as a nation on how free we are. We relish that freedom. Has a ton of problems, Jake. There are no questions that South Africa is shrouded in problems. But part and parcel of that is that. So the question becomes, should you continue singing the song? Is it tasteful at a time like this when race relations are starting to intensify again? And it's fringe groups that are spurring this on. Your Afri-Forums are fringe groups that didn't even find an audience today, didn't find a space in Trump's performance today. I was in the Oval Office. It paid no mind, but there is a question about whether or not this is what you need to continue doing. And that's one that Julius Malema has been asked quite often by even black leaders, political leaders, and commentators have said, is this what you should be doing at this point in time? But there are those who agree that actually it is harmless, that it's got its place in history, and that it can still exist. Again, that's an argument that still goes back and forth in the country.
So do you